Congratulations, Ed, Salesperson of the Month for June. Well done again.
Thanks, Paul.
Tell us a bit about what's happening in Richmond.
Well, look, traditionally winter stock levels are in place, so there's not a lot going around. Those that are on the market are being rewarded with some good prices. But I think so winter stock levels for one, combination of election, probably date uncertainty as well, holding some owners back. We're doing lots of appraisals, but just not a lot coming to market.
So the usual winter?
I think so, and I think you'll find October is going to be probably very busy. A lot of developments are starting to finished off now and coming to the marketplace, all the off-the-plan stuff as well. And Bridge Road's finally starting to fill up again. There's been lots of vacant shops.
Amazing. I was there this morning. It's incredible.
Yeah, lots of new, a bit of a transition there.
A lot of the guys in the offices are thinking Ed and the team must meet so many people on a weekly basis. And they be thinking they know how difficult it is to get through all of those contacts. How do you guys do it?
As in, so Monday callbacks?
All the buyers that you're meeting, your callback system, is it exactly as we train on, or are you guys doing something a little bit differently?
No, we try and keep to the script as much as we can. We find that Mondays, we try not to book any appointments on a Monday. We try and lock down Mondays for callbacks. And there's three of us, obviously Doug and Tabitha as well, making the calls. We have our sales team inspection, of course, in the caravan on a Monday and the sales meeting, so we don't really surface till about 1 o'clock. So between 1 and about 6, we're making calls pretty much all afternoon.
So you come up against the usual things. You get a lot of people that you can't get through to, and they're on your 3-day callback and the 10 days, and so you're running the system. We do the next day, the following the Tuesday callback, and then we do the 10-day callback the following Wednesday. So what's the non-negotiable for you guys? What's the most important information you try to collect at the opens?
Look, firstly, to get surnames. If there's 10 Chris's we're meeting on the weekend, we've got to make sure we understand who they are. Confirm mobile numbers, of course, that's it's a gimme. But suburbs, I think, is a critical one. If they live in Richmond, we've got to make sure that we know that if they've got a property coming on or a trade-in. And so that's very good at getting that information. Guessing the streets if they're not forthcoming with that information, guessing the street number, and they just correct you by human nature. So all of a sudden you've got all the details, you can send it off. But referring to mortgage brokers as well, is important if we can do that, to get them in a position to bid auction day. And also, if they're an investor, we can send them off, or put them on a database as well that Chris has set up, and email them links of good quality investment properties as well that are coming on. Yeah,
terrific. So you're really looking at that data you're collecting and managing it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
One of the other questions I'm sure with most of the guys will be, how many appraisals are you doing? You're obviously listing a lot. How many appraisals are you doing on a weekly basis, and what percentage of those come to market within the first 4 weeks, as an example?
I'd aim to do 5 to 7 per week. That sets me up to sort of 25 to 30 per month. I think I've done 16 for July, halfway through. And I think 29 for April. So those numbers are good. They keep me in stead for some good listings moving forward.
It's not unrealistic. It's not like you're doing 15 appraisals a day.
No, it's just too much to track in that period. So so anywhere from 5 to 7 per week is what I aim to do.
Any words of wisdom regarding winning that new business?
Oh, look, I think you've got to be obsessed with getting the listing, and you've just got to be like a dog with a bone. Energy, enthusiasm, they're constant things that clients come back to us. We always try and ask vendors, thank them for the business while we selected, above our competitors, and just that sort of never give up approach is something that we always hear about, and the constant energy. Those sorts of things,
So when you're at work, be there,
absolutely,
do the job.
But I mean, I do a lot of thinking after hours as well, and a lot of strategic SMSs and emails and touch base things after hours, weekends as well. So constantly, without trying to add some value when you're chasing the business. If there's something that's sold, it's similar, making sure they're aware of it. Texting them after hours if the weekend auction results and things. A lot of people text me back Saturday night saying, or Sunday morning, say great, thanks for the feedback. So that sort of stuff as well. So constantly being there, but around different things: emails, phone calls, SMSs.
And do you think that came from you being hungry, or just from you? That's what you'd expect if you were selling.
Both. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, look, I try and put myself in the vendor's position. If this agent's, is chasing me for the business, what I would try and do for that. But also just a natural enthusiasm and a natural hunger that I find myself doing things, and and it's usually it works out.
Yeah, interesting, isn't it? Treat people the way you want to be treated.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything new that you've instilled within the team that's helping you or winning your new business?
Lots of role play with the listing presentation that Josh Fegan's been doing at our training.
How's that going?
Yeah, it's good. We're trying to strengthen certain parts of the presentation. I mean, every listing presentation is different, as we know. So
Sure.
You'll find that you can't pitch the perfect one. There's always interruptions. There's kids. There's phones ringing and all that sort of stuff. There's someone's late. The partner comes in halfway through. So.
Yeah.
But if the opportunity arises that we can get everything out, I just want to make sure the scripts and dialogues are there.
Yeah.
So doing that. What else have we been doing?
I know you're selling the magazine more. You guys have been working on that.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and I'm just finding that it's good for just trying to cross-reference some other buyers and other properties and so forth as well. You've got to be in there, I think. If you're not, you're trying to show it on your iPhone, it's just too difficult.
Yeah.
But one other thing I've been doing is in listing presentations, parking the fee and the marketing as well, and saying, okay, cool, look, sale figures or fees in our marketplace are anywhere between sort of 1% and 2%. We'll come back to that in another time. And I focus on winning the business on, track record, access to buyers, days on market, sort of proving our worth as an agent, and saying, hey, look, we're all adults here. We can work out a fee that you're comfortable with.
And making sure you touch on that, or do you wait until it's an obstacle?
Look, I touch on it early on, and I say fees are in this range. You can get a 1% agent, but hey, we're not the cheap and nasty option. Don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to add some good value here. We pitch somewhere in the middle, but we'll come back to that in more detail later.
Yeah.
And I focus on winning the business, promoting our strengths.
Yeah.
And being subtle with the negatives from the other agents. So I've probably matured there, where I used to go in a bit gung-ho. But now I'll say, hey, look, Sunday opens are critical. 33% of our buyers come through on a Sunday. Yeah. And then I plant that seed that it's important. I leave it at that. Yeah. And then they'll invariably do their research and find out that, the competitors aren't doing Sunday opens, or they're not quoting properties. And
everything's important when they're selling their home, and it's, they just want to be at ease.
Yeah, but let them realise that the competitors aren't doing it, as opposed to slamming that home, which I probably did early on.
Yeah. So the winter months are traditionally a bit quieter. Yeah. Are you? Is there anything you're doing at the moment to set yourself up for the big spring rush?
Just trying to hit the phones as much as I can. I've what have we listed? 6 this month so far. 4 this month so far, which is a bit down. 6 sales for July. Dougie Doyle's made 2 of those, so perhaps he should be sitting here doing this, but he's done really well. Hitting the phones really, and just trying to set up. I think there'll be a late dump of stock in October. September's obviously a bit interrupted. Election stuff we're not sure about yet. So I think there'll be a late spring rush, October, November. So just trying to hit the phones and do all my calls and so forth.
Congratulations again on a great month. You constantly do the things that everybody's supposed to do, and I think that's the message here for everyone that's watching the video. Do it first, work out if it works before you try to implement something new. Yeah, sure. And probably see you again next month.
Terrific. Thanks, Paul.